Well, welcome everybody to our Healthy Living event brought to us by the Juice Plus Company. I'm here with my Aunt Cheryl, and we're honored to be here with all of you this evening to share with you a little bit about our company, our products, and our mission. The Juice Plus Company is a pretty old company at this point. We got started in the 70s, and at the time we were called NSA. Stood for National Safety Association. We were the first company to bring fire alarms to the marketplace, and obviously that was a huge success for us. In the 80s, we moved into the field of air and water filtration systems, and then in the early 90s, we made one more transition into the field of health technology with the Juice Plus product line. And I know that, you know, for my family, we really feel like that's been the, you know, kind of the find of this century and next. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an orientation on our Juice Plus product line, and then we're going to go to some people this evening and let you hear from them in terms of their experience with this product, this mission, this business. This is our Core 4 product line, and our Core 4 terminology that we use just refers to the 4 bottles. This is going to be our veggie blend in the green bottle, our fruit blend in the red bottle, our berry blend in the purple, and our brand new full spectrum Omega in the orange. And the Omegas are unique in that they don't use any fish oil. I believe we're actually the first company to bring a full spectrum Omega, which means we've got 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 present in our Omega blend, and using no fish oil to create our Omega blend. And so what we have here, guys, really, I guess the simplest, easiest way to explain Juice Plus products is really we've got a juicing replacement. When a person takes a dose of Juice Plus, which is going to be 2 capsules out of each of these bottles every day, they're going to be receiving, from a nutritional standpoint, the equivalent of eating or drinking like 3 fresh pressed juices. So for all of you out there who love your juice, you love drinking the juice, I love drinking juice. Juicing is phenomenal, but there's some downsides to juicing. Obviously, if you're doing it yourself, it's going to be really costly from a time standpoint and a financial standpoint. I mean, if you're juicing for yourself, it can be expensive. God forbid you got to juice for the whole family, and that gets really expensive. So for a lot of people, they go on kind of maybe a juicing cleanse or a juicing kick, but it's not sustainable long term. So Juice Plus Company, we control all the land that our produce is grown on. We actually have produce that is better than organic. We pick at the peak point of ripeness. We press all of our foods and our fruits, and then we take out all the water, sugar, and salt. We encapsulate the micronutrition, and we give you a capsule that's live. It has live enzymes and antioxidants, and it's bioavailable for the body, which means it goes straight in the bloodstream. And we give you those 3 fresh pressed juices a day for less than you're paying for your coffee that you buy at Starbucks. So for most people, this is a lot easier. It's a lot simpler. It's cost effective. So it's sustainable over time. And, you know, all of you out there, if you know anything about the body, you understand that for health to be in place or for anything to really happen in the body, it's got to be done consistently over time. That's all that matters. And so Juice Plus gives us a way to do that. We also have a great protein powder. We call it our complete powder. And you'll see our complete powder used in a lot of different ways. I use it as protein supplementation for my training as an athlete. You'll see other people use it as kind of a meal on the go in the morning. We see mothers use it as formulas for their babies. And we also see it put in feeding tubes at the end of people's lives. So a lot of different way for this macronutrition to go into your body. And the thing I love about the powder and the capsules together is that it really is a full foundation of nutrition that I'm going to get in my body. And I kind of use an analogy, which I think most of you will be familiar with. An engine and a vehicle need gas and oil. Obviously, both are important. So if we look at our complete powder, that's going to represent our gas, right? Because it has calories in it. It's macro or a whole food. And if we look at the micronutrition present in the capsules, that's going to represent the oil and the engine. And what's more important, the oil or the gas? Well, the answer is they're both important. So in the morning, for me personally, I pop a bag of complete powder in a shaker bottle with about 10 ounces of water. I shake it up. I take my capsules, and that kicks off my day. And I know no matter what happens throughout the rest of that day, at least I've gotten the equivalent of about 30 servings of fruits, vegetables, berries, and grains, along with some great protein, a full spectrum amino chain, and I'm really setting myself up for nutritional success right at the top of the day. So let's go to our first speaker. Kind of without further ado, Dr. Staci King is with us this evening. She is a wife and a mother of two and has just a great Juice Plus story. So Staci, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you share your story with us.
All right. Thank you, guys. So yes, my name is Dr. Staci King. I am a physical therapist and I have my own PT practice. And how my whole story starts was I got introduced to the products in the business all at the same time. I was watching somebody on Facebook and they posted something about a 10-day clean eating program. And I was looking for something. So the timing was right for me. I reached out. I said, tell me more. It sounded awesome. I was going to do it. I was dragging my husband along and we did the 10-day shred. And for me, I was looking for something to help with my GI issues. And having been a former Division I gymnast, I also was looking for something to help my body. I've always been on this path of health and wellness and nutrition and just trying to get control over what's happening inside my body. And we had a big family event coming up. So I was also looking to see if I could lose some weight with the 10-day shred. So my husband and I jumped in to the shred 10 days, was feeling so amazing. We did it for 10 more days. And really, that was the kicker for me. I wasn't having migraines anymore. I was not having my daily aches and pains in my joints and in my muscles. So having beat my body to a pulp for most of my life, that was a really nice added gain there. And my recovery from my workouts, that was key. I get up really early. I wake up at 4:15. I'm at the gym by about 4:30, 4:40. And to be able to sustain that energy and then see a full patient caseload all day is really tough. I'm a hands-on manual therapist. I work with a ton of athletes, so I'm active all day long. And to sustain that energy and recover and be able to repeat, kind of rinse and repeat, was great for me. And on the family side, my husband's eczema got better. My kids don't take allergy meds anymore. I think we've had one antibiotic prescription in almost 3 years, and we found out that they actually didn't need the antibiotic because the extended strep test actually came back negative, but it looked like strep, but it wasn't. So we've just had a great product story and that morphed in. So when I started the products, I also jumped into the business at the same time and just kind of said, I'm not looking for this right now, but fine, I'll sign up to get a discount on my products. And after we went through that first shred, there were visible changes in my body and my husband's body and just the way we were putting ourselves out into the universe. And people naturally started asking us what we were doing, and I started sharing. And before I knew it, I was doing a business, and I had no idea that I was actually doing the business. So that was great. I had to reach out to my sponsor and say, tell me what to do. And that's what I love about this business is she just took me by the hand and really taught me because I asked and I was open. I was what we call ignorance on fire. I was sharing with everyone left, right, and center, had no idea what was happening. And I was just moving through the marketing plan pretty quickly. And as time went on, the added gain that I also wasn't looking for was the fact that I had a community of like-minded people that I didn't even know existed out there. So people who are on a mission to help people get healthier and to find a purpose and a community. And that was just like, that's my bonus. That's what I love more than anything else. I've always tried to help people. Obviously I'm a PT and that's my role and what I look at. But as I build this like side nest of income that I'm looking to replace with my PT income, like I just didn't know there were so many supportive people out there to kind of take me by the hand and go hand in hand together down this journey. And so that's my story. I'll never look back.
Staci, thank you so much. Let me ask you a quick question. What role did the clinical data play for you in terms of your belief in what you experienced in the Shred 10? What did that science look like for you?
So, I was introduced by another PT, and I'm a big fan of not reinventing the wheel. So I went in because I trusted that physical therapist. And then afterwards, I took a step back and I started looking at it because I really kind of wanted to know the science behind it. And before I could recommend it to anybody, I needed to know that what I had in my hand was as good as everyone was saying it was. So the research is critical for me to have a solid foundation and I can stand by my word, because my professional reputation is everything. Without that, I'm out of business. And to have that gold standard top tier research that shows I can decrease inflammation in your body and I can decrease that oxidative stress that could lead to disease is critical in patient care, as well as I want that for me and my family and everyone else I know and love.
Dr. King, thank you. Yeah, we are fortunate at this point to be the most clinically studied thing in a bottle today in the marketplace. I think now over 40 published clinical trials. We're going to go next to Kristy. Kristy is passionate about health and well-being and has a great Juice Plus story for us to share this evening. Kristy, you're with us?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, the clinical data played a big role in my decision too. I'll get to that a little bit later, but my name is Christie Cool. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I spent the last 15 years in corporate America. From an educational standpoint, I have an undergrad in pre-med and an MBA. And all I ever wanted to do was add massive value to people. And I chose to do that in the world of medical device sales. For the last 10 years, I specialized in disruptive medical device technologies. What the iPhone did for how we use cell phones is what the technology that I did revolutionized its respective areas. So I specialize in things like the Da Vinci robot, 3D mammography, things that were completely cutting edge. We had no clinical data in the beginning. We had massive clinical data in the end and got every piece of technology through full insurance adoption, which was really fun. I was always in the top 5% of the sales force. I could do anything I wanted in any company that I worked for. I had massive upward mobility. I had uncapped commissions and a big taste of freedom. I always won the trips, the trophies, and the stock options year after year, but something was missing, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what was missing until I heard it. I was in search of what this hole was that I had in my heart and in my soul, and I went to a Tony Robbins conference, and he said, "Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure." And I thought, my gosh, that's what it is. That's what's missing. And so I wrote a list of all the things that make me feel fulfilled. And those things were being fully present in the moment and being able to feel and hear what people need and make add massive value to their life. And that was whether it was a stranger on the street or it was a family member, that's what makes me come alive. And being in nature makes me feel fulfilled. And all the animal philanthropy work that I do, animal rescue work and veteran affair. And I thought, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to be able to find a job, a career that's going to allow me to just love on people all day long, right? And add value and change their life. So I thought, well, maybe I can find something that I can make money in my sleep and have more time to do the things that I love and just, be a big love bug to everybody. And so at the same time, I was an expert at time management, and people would fly in from all over the world to see how I could take a 60 or 70 hour work week and get everything done and still be in the top 5% of the sales force in 10 hours. And I did this year after year at every company that I was with. And even though I had this system perfected, it seemed like whenever something really important in my life happened, my work got in the way. And so whether it was, I have been late to Christmas, I've been late to my own surprise birthday parties. I always was the person that had this one more deal I just had to close, that one email that I had to send, that one boss that I had to get back to. And I was tired of it. And nobody knew that I had made this mental shift but me. And I scheduled a vacation for my brother and his family. And 2 weeks later, I had to cancel the first part of that vacation. They went, I paid for it, but I had to show up late because, again, I had this big deal. I had a $3 million deal at McLeod Hospital in South Carolina to close, and I had to get, the president of the company in there to close the deal with me. And enough was enough at that point. I didn't want to stand for living my life this way anymore. And so I knew what it took to be fulfilled in my shoes. And I also wrote a list out of what I wanted. And for me, it was to live and work wherever in the world, to make massive impact on people, to have low overhead and a low number of employees, because I realized through experience that that would always increase my stress level. Wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I thought about buying into a business, a franchise. I had a couple people that wanted me to go into business with them. And I had already had a ticket to a Tony Robbins Business Mastery course. And I went to that meeting, and I was in a room with 2,000 business owners, and I heard their pain, and everybody wanted out. Everybody was stressed out. Everybody had all their money locked up in their business. And I listened to and felt their pain, and I listened to everything Tony said. I am a big believer in his business philosophies. I've applied all of his personal stuff. It works. So I was there to take notes and be a student. And what he said was, you want to get into something that is sustainable and isn't going away, like health and wellness. You want something that is very easy, 1, 2, 3, too many. You want to duplicate yourself. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to have cash to be able to invest into other markets. And you want residual income. You want to make money when you sleep. And so simultaneously, I had a parasitic infection from traveling over to Europe. And the only thing that made me feel better, I was on 13 supplements from a functional medicine doctor, was Juice Plus. So I started taking Juice Plus, and within 5 days, the dark circles went away under my eyes. The eczema cleared up. I started to feel better. I had a surge of energy. And I thought, if this is what is happening on the outside, my gosh, there's got to be some brilliant things happening on the inside. So understanding clinical studies, I took to the internet and I read every single clinical study that we have, and realized that we, like you said, stand out heads above anything on the market, and we always will. 38 clinical studies, I think you said maybe it's to 40 now and counting. And these are the studies that medical practitioners respect. They're double-blinded, peer-reviewed, human trial, placebo-tested trials. This is the real deal. So I had the option to spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a franchise, or $50 and join this amazing community. And I spent the $50 on a clinically proven product, a system that has been well in place long before my time, and I am all in. So thank you so much for letting me share my story.
Kristy, thank you so much. Wow, what a story. What an incredible story. I think one of the things you brought up is the simplicity of this. And I think, unfortunately, for some people, the simplicity is really what gets in the way. But you continue to look at it, you see the truth. Let's go next to Alejandra, which I believe I saw her on with us tonight. She is in California, Sherman Oaks, California, and a mom, and has a great Juice Plus story for us in terms of what it's done for her and her family's health. Alejandra, if you're with us, would you share that story, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, my name is Alejandra. I am 26 and I live in LA. I have 2 kids, a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. I started taking Juice Plus last year in October when my friend Carly, who also knows Jocelyn, introduced me to it. After I had my second child, I was going through a really, really hard time. I didn't want to accept that I had postpartum depression. I was upset and frustrated. And that's when I talked to Carly, and she was like, oh, you have to try this stuff out. Like, it's really good. It's going to help you. And I said, why not? It doesn't hurt. So I had a doctor's appointment a month after I started Juice Plus, and I canceled my appointment because I started to feel great after taking Juice Plus for almost 3 weeks. I had more energy. I didn't have crazy mood swings. I was more present for my kids, and it really helped me out a lot. I also gave my son, who is 8, the 8-year-old, he started taking the gummies too. And last year in 2018, winter was the first winter he did not get sick. He's suffered from asthma before, and every winter he would have to take his inhaler to school. He would have to take it at night. He would have a really hard time sleeping at night because he would be coughing. And last year was the first winter he did not get sick. He did not have to go to the doctors, and it was just amazing for us. I also, and then Carly asked me to join the business. She said, you should join me and make some extra money. And I said, why not? So now I want to help people out. I want them to feel happy. and healthy and live a long time. So yeah, that's my story.
Alejandra, thank you. Yeah, I think, our company has a mission statement, which is to, inspire health and well-being and to try to do that around the world. And I think that's, something that a lot of us can relate with. And that's why this company has something that is so easy for all of us to get behind, no matter where you come from, man or woman, young or middle-aged or older. We can all get behind feeling good and living at, the highest level of our physical existence. Let's go now to Jocelyn Stevenson. She's in California as well and sales coordinator with our company. Jocelyn, maybe you can share your product story with us and, how that turned into a business for you. And before you share, maybe take yourself off mute because I can still see you're on mute there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Stevenson, and I've been with the Juice Plus company for about 1.5 years now, almost 2 years, actually. I was super skeptical about the product. I didn't really realize what it was because I was one of those people who thought, they knew everything about health and they were as healthy as they could be. Well, I found out that was a lie. And so I actually logged onto an event just like this on a Thursday night, and it ended up being Dr. Greg was speaking, and he's a chiro out in Studio City where I live. And he had mentioned that this was actually food. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I could use some more fruits and vegetables in my life. I was super busy, working all the time, working long hours, not always being able to cook food for myself. So I felt like the capsules would be a great part to add to my diet. So I started taking the capsules. 2 months in, I noticed that my skin has started to change, my hair started to grow in, and I was loving that. But for me, the reason I will never stop taking this product forever is because I suffered from kidney infections for, I'd say, about 6 years. And I would end up in the hospital with an IV in my arm for antibiotics and fluids because I couldn't even keep down water. I would dry heave, and I felt like I had broken ribs. It was the worst experience. I don't know if anyone's ever had a kidney infection before, but it feels really awful. And so I started taking the product 4 months in. I noticed that I hadn't gotten a kidney infection. And for me, that was amazing because I had been looking for something, and the doctors told me, some women are prone to this. Like, there's nothing we can really do about this. And I really believed that at the time because my best friend also suffered from that, and she would get them a little worse than I did. So I tried candida cleanses. I tried being raw. I tried everything you could imagine just to try and clean out my body. And these capsules, taking them consistently, changed my entire life. And I've been kidney infection free for the last almost 2 years now. And I've not been sick, not even a cold, sniffle, allergies, nothing like that. And I honestly think this is the most amazing product. And so that kind of brings me to my business story, where I really just wanted to help other people. Like, I figured, this did this for me. Imagine what it could do for other people suffering with different things in their bodies, right? It's just food. Food heals everybody. And so I was working 15-hour days at the time, and I was traveling all over and kind of living for someone else and not myself. And I think that I was depressed, and I didn't really want to admit that I was depressed about it, but I really was. And I was looking into joining Peace Corps. I was looking into doing different things to try and give back to the community. And I realized that this business really gives me the platform to be able to do this. And so, I'm 26, and I don't want to work the rest of my life. And I definitely don't want to work the rest of my life for someone else. And so I think this is an amazing platform to be able to not do that. And by the time I'm in my 30s, I could hopefully be an NMD and have an amazing business. And I've hired my mom, and she's doing well. And I just have so many friends and family around me who are taking their product and are in the business as well, and have had such a good experience. And it's been really fun to work with people like Alejandra and people who actually do want to go out there and help other people. And if you're looking at this business, I think it's awesome. And I think that it's for anyone of any age, and it's really been a blessing in my life. So thank you so much for letting me share.
Jocelyn, thank you. And we've got like 3 minutes here. I think if she's on with us still, and I know she is because she's hosting the event this evening. Why don't you go to us quickly? Carol Turnbow is out of South Bend, Indiana. She's also a sales coordinator with our company and has been a raving fan of the capsules now for quite some time, but really drug her feet in regards to trying the complete powder. But since trying it, Carol, tell us what gave you pause and tell us what's happened now that you have tried the complete powder.
Absolutely. So I've been with the company for 2 years now in August. And I remember at my first conference, I was drinking a protein shake and Josh was like, "What's in that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's beef protein. It's better for my muscles." He kind of let me go. Well, he didn't know that in the back, I was really struggling with the soy. Like I was really struggling with the fact that the Juice Plus protein was made from a soy product. So I just kind of, I did my thing. I was building my business. My business was growing. I was, talking and promoting the Core 4, but I personally had a really hard time with the fact that there was soy in our protein. So I asked every doctor I knew, did a bunch of research, and long story short, it took me about 20 months. So I've been drinking the complete protein now for 3 months. Oh my gosh. So I'm an athlete. I'm a CrossFit athlete. I'm a competitive athlete. In 3 months, my body has changed so much. I'm 50 years old and I'm actually making gains in the gym again, where for a while I was struggling with injury after injury and a lot of, probably inflammation in my body from being an athlete. And so since I've started taking the complete protein, I drink 2 shakes a day, and I've been taking it now, like I said, consistently for about 3 months. I'm actually making gains in the gym. I'm setting PRs. I just qualified for a huge competition that I'm going to do in February. I have another competition that I'll be trying out for next month. So yes, I had my reserves. I was that paleo girl that we were no gluten, no dairy, no soy, no sugar, no, whatever. And so I was scared, but I took it. I love it. It's backed by research. I now know that. And I love it. It's been awesome since I've been on it.
Thank you, Carol. Let me ask you quickly, what was it? I mean, look, you looked at the science, you talked to the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. That obviously logically made sense to you, but really for you, what was it that really changed your mind when you started drinking this stuff? What, aside from what the doctor said and the science you read, you felt okay logically drinking it based on what you understood of soy and how it's processed, but really what was it for you that really just flipped the switch and said, okay, this is the real deal. I got to keep drinking this stuff because it's better.
I mean, the science definitely was huge for me, but just how I feel, like I honestly can't believe, like instantly, I would say by the 3rd day, I looked at my husband and I was like, I have so much more energy. Like I was still napping, but I just had so much more. I just feel better. And as an athlete, like, your body, you know what I mean? I have to be honest with you guys. Like I read every label. I'm very good about what I put in my body. I always read the label. That's why I love Juice Plus, because it's a nutrition label and it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. But when I read that label, I had that, soy, because everybody talks about soy being, bad for you and getting cancer and what do we call them? Man boobs, I guess, so, and that doesn't affect me obviously, but still, so you hear all these things, negative things about soy. I guess I would call them myths about soy. And so just all of that was in my head. I honestly physically felt funny when I took my first drink. Like that's how much of an aversion I had to it. And then now I'm like, go for it. I love it.
Well, and what really should be highlighted about soy is soy. That's not the danger. The danger is in how soy is processed. If it is an acid washing process to process soy, the acid washing process is what creates the phytoestrogen reaction in the body. On top of that, almost 90% of soy is genetically modified soy.
Right.
Juice Plus is soy, and this is what I always encourage people to think about. The philosophy that this company uses to bring products to market. We're all about bringing the highest level of nutritional content that we possibly can to market. And what science has shown, and what Carol's talking about, is that there's nothing actually wrong with soy if it's water washed and it's grown organically. That soy has been proven scientifically to be the easiest form of protein for the body to assimilate. And that's why Carol had the reaction that she did. And for any athlete out there, it's always about the way your body feels. If your body feels good and you move pain-free, then you don't second guess those movements. And when you're not second guessing moving because you're not worried about your body chirping at you saying, knee, hip, shoulder, something, then you really can go to that next level. So Carol, thank you so much for that story. Thank you for everybody's time and stories tonight. We really appreciate it. We meet like this every Thursday evening, 5:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and have been doing so now for several years via Zoom. We really encourage everybody, if you're watching this event as a recording for the first time, to get back to the person that gave you this clip and really do your due diligence. Educate yourself on some food options that are out there for you. A mission, if you're looking for one, and something to get behind, a community to be a part of, certainly this is worth your time and energy to investigate. Thank you, everybody, much. Good night. Carol, I'll let you cut it, and then we'll switch gears here.
Good night.